So it's in the gray zone of learning that self-directed learning will really distinguish itself from other learning methodologies. For it's through observing a child's learning and being in conversation with the learner that a strategy for learning will emerge when frustration and avoidance appear. How do we know when support and instruction is needed in a self-directed learning process? One clear way is when a learner wants to master a skill, has interest, and is frustrated in attempting to learn that skill. So in a self-directed learning process, the parent and educator would consult with the learner to determine how the skill could be mastered in a joyful way. This is a very different approach than saying that a child is not up to par on a skill that every X-year-old should know and be able to do, so we're going to do a remediation. This is different. This is a child wanting to do something but just can't quite figure it out or is frustrated and really needs help. If many foundational skills such as reading, writing, and math emerge out of curiosity when a learner is ready, we need to be able to differentiate between a skill that is not yet ready to emerge and when a child really wants this skill, but because of learning challenges, needs support and instruction to allow the skill to develop. Very real learning challenges include dyslexia, eye tracking, visual memory, visual processing, and more. And this is a bit tricky. How do you know when a learner is really not ready and will be ready, or when a learner really has a difficulty that they need support to overcome? And the way that you will be able to determine this, again, is through very deep observation and conversations with the learner. So what happens when a learner is interested in learning something and needs instruction, and the traditional way of instructing isn't sufficient? For example, visual spatial learners are almost the exact opposite of auditory sequential learners. And most instructional techniques and curriculum are geared to auditory sequential learners. Visual spatial learners struggle with spelling, writing, and memorizing math facts. So saying that someone isn't developmentally ready to learn something is very simplistic. Maybe the visual spatial learner will never really master math facts the way that a different type of learner would. But maybe geometry and advanced math will come very easily to them. So this is where relationships and conversation and deeply observing every individual learner's process is going to be so beneficial. And that's where self-directed learning and setting up spaces for self-directed learning really rise above so many other approaches.